In this video, I'm going to show you the exact strategy that I used to write a cold email that helped one of our clients land a $250,000 deal. You see, after booking over 2,000 sales calls in the past year, I built a scripting system that consistently converts. However, when I see what most business owners are sending, I almost cringe because they either write these long essays that nobody reads, or they send pitches that immediately scream, "I'm going to sell you something." But the reality is the emails booking the most qualified sales calls are the complete opposite. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to write them. So if you're someone who's sending out cold email and maybe not getting any responses, or you're booking unqualified leads, this video is for you. Now, the first thing that you need to do before we write a single word of copy is actually just nail down the offer. And this is where most people completely miss the mark. It is truly the 80-20. They assume they can just pitch their main service in cold email and expect people to respond. But think about it for a second. You're a complete stranger in someone's inbox. They have no idea who you are, and you're asking them to commit to a $10,000 contract or some big retainer just from reading one email. Honestly, that's never gonna work. So the first part of writing a killer cold email script isn't the subject line or the preview text. It's actually just creating an irresistible offer. Something easy and low friction that gets them to respond without feeling like they're committing to anything major. Now, for this video, I chose to challenge myself a little bit and just use a random company that I found on ChatGPT. So for this one, we're gonna jump into Disruptive Advertising, who's a full service B2B growth agency. Now, after a little research, I found that their offer is essentially a risk-free guarantee, get results in 90 days or you don't pay. It also looks like they're running a free audit for this offer as well. But here's the main problem with these offers, especially if you're looking at this from a cold outbound perspective. Now, they have the idea of an offer correct in theory, but they're missing a few features. And I would say there's probably like two major changes that they would need to make. One, there is no definition of results at all. Like what does results mean? How much money is that gonna be? What kind of ROI is that gonna be? You don't really know what they're trying to say here. It just means like, you're going to get something from this in 90 days or you'll get a refund. Not exactly the most straightforward. They did nail it here to suggest that this is only for qualifying brands, which I think is smart. You know the brands that you're gonna be able to get the best results for and the qualities that make them up. So in this case, if you know the qualities, you should be able to suggest like a minimum ROI or return on ad spend or some sort of revenue here if you're then qualifying the brand. So you could just be a little bit more specific there. And then on the audit side of things, I like the idea of doing an audit to some degree, but the word audit is just so overplayed. And the reality is when you're doing outbound, nobody really wants an audit from somebody that they don't know. They don't know that you're necessarily going to be an authority figure or someone that knows the space better than they do. So to them, an audit means nothing. An audit means that they have to jump on a 30-minute call and waste their time. So if I wanted to create an email that could potentially land them a $250,000 deal, I need to turn this weak offer into something that nobody can ignore. And let me show you exactly how easy this is. So I'm going to be jumping over into ChatGPT and I'm going to keep this super simple. And if you're interested, just drop a comment below and I'll actually shoot you over this custom GPT if you want to test it out yourself. So I'm going to run this custom GPT that I've built out and I'm going to say I want to build an offer. Currently they have a risk-free guarantee, get results in 90 days or you don't pay, and they have a free social ad audit. I'm also going to share their case studies just for a little bit of relevance when we're building out the offer. So I'll pull these two here specifically that they've worked with. Funny story, we have actually run outbound for Nani Swimwear just over a year ago, which was not planned. Cool, so let's see what it comes up with. All right, so diving into what it created for us, it's basically suggesting three things. One, a revenue leak sprint. So this one's almost like an audit, except framed more around the potential loss that you could be experiencing versus potential gain. I kind of like that idea. Loss is always going to be something that you want to pressure on more than what they can get out of something. I think this could work if you played it properly, especially if you position this as a free video or a lead magnet or something that is low friction. The problem is, again, you get into the problem with audits where like, who are you to suggest that you know better than they do about the system that they're running? And then even on top of that, having to give them access to your backend, like to your Meta Ad Manager, it's going to be a tough one to do via cold because they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you. There's nothing established yet. Creative validation test, I actually really like this one because it's essentially a free deliverable. So we'll launch and validate 3 to 5 paid social creatives using our internal benchmarks before you commit to full management. So what they get, 3 to 5 conversion focused creatives, which includes angles, hooks, formats, small controlled spend test, clear winner and loser decision framework, creative insights that they can reuse even if they don't continue. So this obviously works well because you're allowed to test things out before you actually commit to working to them. It could also be fairly low effort depending on the creative strategy. But again, when it comes to offers, you can really just crank up the qualification for the brand that's coming to you and just only offer this high effort thing to those that you really want to work with. The last one that they suggested here is a feed to ad profitability snapshot, which I mean, that kind of sounds confusing. We'll show you how much more profitable your ads could be by fixing your product feed, not increasing spend. So this is more like conversion rate optimization, I guess. Like, I don't really like this as much because it's not really transitioning well into the core offer. If the core offer is doing their ads, you know, maybe you're helping with existing ads, which is going to appeal to a certain percentage of the market, but it's not going to appeal to those that maybe haven't launched ads yet. There could be an argument on like, you know, those that have already launched ads are going to be better fit prospects. Those that haven't are probably going to be earlier, maybe not as profitable, but I think that's maybe getting too into the weeds. So I think in general, we'll probably build out a few variations of offer number 2 here. Now, if you want to book meetings with qualified leads without spending time learning how to write the cold emails yourself, you can schedule a call using the first link below. We've helped our clients book over 2,000 calls in the past year, probably more by now, by taking care of every single step in the process. Everything from setting up the infra, to creating offers, to winning scripts that consistently convert. So if you want to see if we can do the same for you, simply book a call below. But either way, now that we have a solid offer, the next step is actually writing the email. And this is where a lot of people make their biggest mistake because they assume it's the email copy that needs to do the selling. So they write an entire essay, they try to build trust, they try to establish credibility and convince the person reading that they should respond, when the reality is that most people aren't even going to read half of that. People have become so over conditioned to receiving marketing emails that as soon as they feel like they're being sold to or persuaded in any way, they just immediately stop paying attention. So here's the thing. None of these long, hyper-personalized emails are even necessary because as long as your offer is strong enough, remember I said it was the 80-20 of all of this, then the copy doesn't have to sell anything. So all the email really needs to do is present the offer in the most casual, frictionless way possible. And that's why I'm going to be writing one out live right now so that you can see exactly what I mean. All right, so I actually want to jump into Claude for this one because I think Claude is so much better with copywriting. And truthfully, I could probably write this one from scratch, but I want you guys to see my thought process when I'm actually writing these things out and how I use AI to at least start the initial copywriting on my end. So again, I want to make this super easy. I'm literally just going to grab the offer and bring it over to my Claude project. All I've said in this Claude project is, okay, let's go. And they basically said that, okay, I've got the full framework loaded, ready to execute. This is the comprehensive battle tested system for generating low, high converting B2B cold email scripts. And this is basically just a custom Claude project that I put together. It usually asks me to provide the front end offer, lead magnet, who we're reaching out to, core outcome promise, social proof, case studies, so on and so forth. And we'll get this one going. And I actually want to drop in the social proof too, just in case. We need that for a PS line. I also want to add a quick note. So I've been running Meta ads myself, and I know that one of the biggest pain points that people are dealing with right now is the constant updates that Meta has. So most recently, their Andromeda update is causing some headaches with people because it just runs a little bit different than it did prior to. So things that were working before might not be working now. So I almost want to frame this around that pain point where this is going to be a post Andromeda solution, so they know what exactly is working in this new environment. All right, so we've got the output back from Claude, and you can see here the first email is just first name. If we could test 5 creatives for company name and prove which ones convert before you commit to anything, would that be worth exploring? P.S. Naughty Swimwear saw 942% lift in adds to cart using this exact test. The second one paints the picture a little bit more. First name, notice most D2C brands are bleeding budget on pre-Andromeda creative strategies. If we could pinpoint which hooks actually convert in Meta's new system before you scale, would that be helpful? I like this one because it's still short to the point. The one thing that I would change though is like this second line here should be more focused on the free creative offer. Like if we could do 3 to 5 creatives for you that actually convert in Meta's new system before you scale, would that be helpful? I think that would be a lot better. Pinpointing which convert, nobody really knows what you're getting out of that. Like, is that a call? Are you going to send me a document? Is that just going to be you replying to the email with the things that I need to do? It's really not clear as to what they're getting out of that. Here's another one. So first name, tired of agencies promising the world without proving creative actually works first. We'll test 5 conversion focused creatives for company name in 14 days, hand you the winner loser framework to keep them even if you don't continue. Worth a quick look. Then the next one, first name, if I could uncover which creative angles actually cut through Meta's post Andromeda noise and hand you the clear winner and loser data in 14 days, would that be worth exploring? No retainer, just razor sharp insights you keep regardless. One swimwear brand dropped CPAC by 76% using this exact process. I actually kind of like this one in the first little bit here. If we could uncover which creative angles actually cut through Meta's post Andromeda noise and hand you the clear winner loser in 14 days, would that be worth exploring? When it comes to the no retainer note here, kind of sounds salesy, and then again, razor sharp insights, marketing lingo. And then here, like as soon as you jump into really crazy acronyms and things like that, you lost them. Like people want to know that you made more money, you saved more money, not the swimwear brand dropped CPAC by 76%. I run meta ads and I don't even know what that means. So I think the average brand owner isn't going to know what it means as well. So I would just keep it stupid simple when it comes to the social proof. So the 5th variation is first name, most D2C brands are drowning in creative guesswork while Meta Andromeda update quietly kills what used to work. If we could validate 5 conversion focused creatives for company name in a controlled 14-day test and crystallize exactly which hooks drive add to cart before you commit $1 to the ongoing management, would that be helpful? Keep the winner loser framework either way. I actually really like this one. The one thing that I would change in almost all of these email copies is just reducing the perceived friction a little bit with the CTA. So instead of saying, would that be worth exploring? Would that be worth a chat? Would that be worth whatever? Just change it to, would that be worth sharing more? Now, sharing more could mean jumping on and having a conversation, but it is perceived as lower friction because you're just providing more information, right? Like it kind of allows you to go multiple directions without being pigeonholed into whatever it is that you're offering. On the flip side, I'd also maybe test something very specific, as if you keep it broad, they might not really know what they're getting out of it. So try both. So I actually wanted to take 3 of the ones that I thought were the best and update them or rewrite them just to show you exactly what I would end up doing here. So for this one, first name, no M dashes ever, that screams ChatGPT. First name, notice most D2C brands are bleeding budget on pre-Andromeda creative strategies. So I would change this one to notice most D2C brands are still bleeding budget due to Meta's recent Andromeda update. The benefit here is if they don't know what Andromeda is and they haven't actually heard of it, there's going to be curiosity. They're like, wait, is there something I'm missing? Like, am I losing money potentially? And I don't even know what's going on. And then again, in this one, we want to, if we could create 5 ad creatives for you completely free following Meta's new system. Best practices. Would that be worth sharing more? If we could test 5 creatives, we could create 5 creatives for you completely free and prove which ones convert before you commit to anything. Would that be worth sharing more? PS, Naughty Swimwear saw a 942% lift in adds to cart using this exact test. Perfect. First name, most DTC brands are drowning in creative guesswork while Meta's Andromeda update quietly kills what used to work. If we could create 5 ad creatives for you completely free in a controlled 14-day test and crystallize exactly which hooks drive ads to cart before you commit $1 to ongoing management, would that be helpful? So I like that one a lot. And then I would do one super direct, so almost like first name, if we could ideate, design, script, and edit 5 free ad creatives based on Meta's new Andromeda update. So I'd test something super direct like this. If we could ideate, design, script, and edit 5 free ad creatives based on Meta's new Andromeda update with just 10 to 15 minutes of your time, would that be worth sharing more? So again, this overcomes the objection of it taking a lot of their time. Super low friction CTA. The only thing that I would maybe test about this one is maybe positioning it around the results that Naughty Swimwear got. So it'd be first name, if we could ideate, design, script, and edit 5 free ad creatives based on Meta's new Andromeda update with just 10 to 15 minutes of your time, would that be worth sharing more? And then you could add the PS. This is exactly what we did for Naughty Swimwear, who went from X result pre-Andromeda update to Y result post-Andromeda update. And I think that would perform really well. Now, even if you have a great offer and a solid first email, that might not be enough to get everyone to respond, because the reality is that a lot of people might not even see your first email. Their inbox may be flooded, they may be too busy at the time, or even if they wanted to respond, they may have just simply gotten distracted. So the only way to make sure you're booking as many calls from your initial offer as possible is to have follow-ups that keep you top of mind without sounding desperate or annoying. And luckily, these are just as easy to write as the main email. Now, luckily, the prompt generated a few different options for us. I think when it comes to follow-ups, you can basically go one of 2 different directions. Because the initial email that we're using is so small, you can do, again, one of 2 things. You can add to the email because it's short. Maybe something that we didn't include in the first email could be included in the second email. This might be overcoming an objection, like FYI, this isn't X, Y, and Z, or this doesn't take a lot of time, or whatever the objection is. So that's one way of looking at it. And then the other could be simplifying the response. So if we go back to some of these which kind of paint the picture, like first name, noticed most DTC brands are still bleeding budget due to Meta's recent Andromeda update. If we could create 5 ad creatives for you completely free, blah, blah, blah. What we would do in the follow-up for this one, it could just be as simple as like, first name, if we could create 5 ad creatives for you completely free, would that be worth sharing more? So you're almost like stripping it back a little bit, taking away the whole like painting the picture aspect, and then just making the offer be the message in and of itself. So super simple, strip back, nothing else. If you are already using a strip back version like this, you'd probably have to add to it. But alternatively, you could take a stab at doing something along these lines here. So if you see this one, they said first name, should I send over a Loom video walking through exactly how the 14-day validation process works? So here, there's like 0 friction at all. If they're interested in the benefit, there's no reason that they're gonna say no to a Loom video walking through the process. So you could literally just do a talking head, show them exactly how it works, exactly what your thought process is with the free ad creative testing, and even like disqualify people as you're doing it. Like we have one client right now, and he will intentionally tell them the strategy behind doing the free creative. Like he'll say, truthfully, like we're only offering this free creative to those that we think that we're gonna get really, really good results for. And if you don't meet X, Y, and Z criteria, we're probably not going to do the free thing for you. And this basically allows you to not waste your time on that initial first call. It'll disqualify anybody that just wants the free thing and doesn't actually want to find a solution to their problem and work with you long term. And that's exactly how to write a cold email script that's worth $250,000. But a well-written email won't really be enough to consistently land you high-paying clients on its own. So if you want to see how I use this exact writing process as a part of a complete strategy that's helped me book over 2,000 sales calls in the last year, watch this video next and I'll see you there.